Let's look at the solar system.
Yes, let's.
There are wild worlds of wonder out there waiting to be explored. It could get hot.
It could get explosive.
It could get a bit scary.
But we're ready for everything that the solar system has to throw at us.
Oops.
Ease down.
And he's Steve.
And we're a pair of space cadets.
Too right.
Imagine if one day you could journey to every corner of the solar system. First in the queue for a bit of space hopping would be Dan and Steve. They're desperate to explore the wildest, most out there stuff the solar system has to offer. And this time, they are on the trail of the sunniest spots in space.
Oh, Dan, don't risk your life. We need your rugged good looks and lovely ginger hair down here. Please don't let them launch you into space.
I'm sorry, girls, it's my duty. For the sake of all of you little people, I need to brave the petrifying vastness of space, even though I do have great ginger hair. I don't have a date with you, I have a date with destiny. This is ground control to Major.
Dan!
Commencing countdown, engines on. 30 seconds to take off.
Oh, you're not dreaming again, are you, Dan?
Ignition engaged.
Check.
Mr. Simpkin safely fastened in.
Check.
Mirror signal maneuver. You are go for takeoff.
Dan!
All right.
What are you doing?
I've just got indigestion.
Look, listen, if we're ever going to be ready to jet off to the sunniest, craziest parts of the solar system, we've got work to do.
Have we?
Yes. So first things first, what's the main thing you need to remember about the scorching, sizzling, blazing, roasting hot sun?
It's a bit on the warm side.
There's more to it than just it's a bit on the warm side. And don't just take my word for it. Let the coolest scientists in the solar system back me up.
Meet Professor Brian Cox. He used to be a pop star, now he's exploring the stars.
I'm travelling the world to find out what the most incredible things to be found on our planet can tell us about alien worlds out there in space.
Our solar system is an amazing place. And the more we explore it, the more mind-blowing it turns out to be. Because the sun rises every day and sets every evening, we maybe take it for granted, but we shouldn't. Because without it, there would be no light, no heat, no food to eat, no weather, no days, no seasons, no Earth as we know it. In fact, no solar system at all. In this particular part of the universe, our sun is king.
To get an idea of the sheer size of the sun, you could fit 1 million planet Earths inside it.
I've come to one of the hottest spots on our planet. Death Valley, California is somewhere you can really appreciate the sun's massive power. The surrounding mountains and the distance below sea level turn this place into a furnace. This is heat that can kill.
Take a look at that. It's sitting almost exactly on 121.
121 Fahrenheit. 121's about 50, just under 50
Almost
Celsius.
50 Celsius, almost 50 Celsius, yeah.
How long would you last if you sat out here on a summer's afternoon?
If you were out here without any water, 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
We lose about 1 person a summer that makes a mistake of trying to walk too far without enough water.
And the deadliness of that power is hardly surprising when you consider the amount of energy the sun gives off. The same as 7 trillion nuclear explosions every second.
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you what, the first place in our solar system must-visit list has got to be the sun.
Don't be ridiculous. The sun is way too hot for us to actually visit it. We'd get scorched into oblivion. And it'd be even worse for me because I'm ginger.
Even worse than being scorched into oblivion. Is that even possible?
I've got very, very fair skin.
Ah, I've thought of that. It'll all be a breeze as long as we take off at night time, when it's a bit cooler.
Imagine that one day Dan and Steve are ready to embark on the ultimate space adventure. It might be very, very brave. It might be very, very foolish. But either way, the solar system is theirs to explore. Liftoff is imminent. Set the controls for space destination, the Sun. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff!
It's a scorcher.
I just know I'm gonna get one of my heat rashes.
Bing bong! Thank you for choosing Space Cadet Tours and welcome aboard Flight 000001 to the Sun. Your journey time, as long as you're not melted by the sun's unbearable heat or poisoned by its merciless radioactive rays, will be 7.5 months.
How long? What are we gonna do to stop us getting bored?
How about reading 950 books or 14,000 games of Super Space Warriors? Or we might just have enough time for 3 games of Monopoly.
Tricky choice.
Hi there! What's your name?
Hey, what's happening, baby? Folks around here call me the Sun.
Good name. And what do you do, the Sun?
Well, I am what you might call the biggest star around these parts.
You're big, all right. I hope you don't mind me asking, but how old are you?
Oh, just 4.5 billion years old, and I'm looking pretty darn hot, even if I do say so myself.
Modest as well. So, tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I'm what you might call a complex character. Let me break it down for you. I'm good. Ooh, I'm kind of good. And I'm bad. Ow! I'm so bad. And I'm ugly.
Okay, that was weird. You're scaring me a bit now. Why don't we start with your good side?
Well, I'm good because without me, you ain't even got no solar system. I provide light and heat and summon for all the planets to rotate around.
And the badness you mentioned?
Oh, I'm bad, because if you get too close to me now, too up close and personal in my personal space, my radioactive rays will poison y'all.
Oh dear, and that ugly side. Hit me with it.
At a 6,000 degrees centigrade at my surface sound. That's what I call ugly.
You're hotter than I thought.
Well, that's nothing compared to my center. It's 13.6 million degrees centigrade at least. Oh, yeah.
Getting too close to the sun certainly looks scarily hot.
Yes, certainly hotter than Bank Holiday Monday down Blackpool Promenade.
Yes, and too hot for a ginger fella like me.
Oh, here we go again. Ginger, ginger, ginger. Why don't you get over yourself and follow me for a demonstration to show how we can harness the sun's energy? I hope you're feeling hungry, fella.
I won't mention it again.
You see, Dan, the thing about the sun is you need to make its red-hot power work for you as opposed to against you.
I'm feeling you. Touch me. So how are we going to do that?
Very simple, using this. A parabolic cooker.
All right. I thought parabolic was that type of soap my nan uses.
Your nan doesn't wash. No. The sun may be 150 million kilometres away, but using a parabolic cooker, its heat can be harnessed to cook.
Well, how does it do that, Steve?
I'm glad you asked. The mirror is at just the right angle to focus the sun's rays onto the sausage, which you turn on a skewer so that all the sides get cooked. To be honest, the hotter the country, the better it works. You wouldn't want to try solar cooking a raw sausage here in Britain, though, as that'd just probably make you ill. But even here on a sunny day, you can heat up a pre-cooked hot dog and it's tasty.
OK, what are we waiting for? I am ravenous.
Time to attend to the hunger.
Yeah, let's cook. Let's cook. Get the sun on it. Cook. Cook.
This may take some time, Dan. Oh, yes. There we go. Worth the wait, I think, Daniel.
That is delicious. However, it did take 9 hours. We need to find a way so that our solar cooking doesn't take up our precious time.
Well, that sounds fantastic, Dan, but how in the name of Peter Andre are we going to achieve that?
What we need is a Sauce-o-matic. A Sauce-o-matic. A Sauce-o-matic. Hey there, I'm Dan. You may recognize me from TV shows such as Oi, Ginger and Animals Really Aren't That Funny. Today, I'm going to make you a promise. I'm going to change your life.
Are you tired of cold hot dogs and mounting chores?
Finding time for hot dog cooking and housework can be difficult, but I'm here to help.
The new Sauce-o-matic combines sleek looks, sun-trapping cooking power, and unparalleled portability into one lip-lickingly good design.
And to think, I used to get hungry.
And with so much spare time in between sausages, you'll have time for so much more. See? I kept my promise.
Thanks, Sauce-o-matic.
Okay, so we know the sun's hot. But how did this amazing driving force behind everything in the solar system begin? To find out, I'm heading to South America.
This is the Atacama Desert in Chile. Its high altitude and clear skies make it one of the best places on Earth to view the night sky. And it's home to the most powerful telescope in the world.
It's called the VLT, which stands for Very Large Telescope. By looking out into deepest space at other stars similar to our sun, this mega gadget is finding out amazing stuff about our sun. How it has mood swings, changing from year to year just like a person. And how, also like a human, the sun was born and will one day die. But don't panic, that won't be for at least 5 billion years, which means it's halfway through its life. Around 5 billion years ago, the sun was just a massive cloud of dust and gases. But when shockwaves from a nearby exploding star hit it, the force of gravity made the cloud start to squeeze in tighter. Eventually, it became so hot and tightly packed at the centre that atomic nuclei started to fuse together in something called nuclear fusion, creating a massive explosion outwards from the centre. The inward power of gravity and the outward energy from the explosion balanced each other out, and that created a new star. The sun had been born.
I've got one!
Got one what?
I hold it here in my very human hands. With this in our armoury, no one can stop us, Steve. Behold, the BLT!
BLT, you fruitcake. How's a bacon, lettuce and tomato sandwich going to help us in a space race?
Well, we might get peckish, mightn't we?
Peckish, meckish. Professor Brian wasn't banging on about a BLT, he was talking about a VLT, Very Large Telescope. Not to be confused with a VSC.
What's that?
Very Stupid Cadet.
Oh, right. Well, that's charming coming from a VRM.
What's that?
A very rude man!
Out of order!
Ah!
Time now for those veteran voyagers, those doddery daredevils, those aged astronauts. It's the Astrovets!
Will you look where you're going?
I'm a-looking! Ah! Oops, I didn't see that.
You crazy old fool!
The sun was in my eyes!
Oh, every time it's the same excuse with you. Howdy, folks. Jack Rabbit here, astronaut in my Hades.
I'm Luke Leeper, space-traveling senior citizen.
And I'm ashamed to say that you just caught us arguing like man and wife.
Can you imagine?
Oh, I know.
Back in the good old days when we yee-hawed our way to the moon, we had to look after our eyes.
That's right. Without the Earth's atmosphere to protect, you had to take optical precautions up there in space.
The sun will throw everything it's got at you. UV rays, X-rays, gamma rays, and worst of all, cosmic rays.
You're darn tootin'. That's why, when I actually walked on the moon, I had to use my gold-plated visor to protect my eyes. Although old Lukey here, he didn't need to worry about that, Because he never actually left the command module, did you, Lukey boy?
Do we have to go through all of this again?
Oh, yes, sirree. Whatever it was that turned old Lukey's eyesight worse than a blindfold-wearing earthworm, it certainly wasn't harmful rays from the sun during a moonwalk, because he never did one.
It was my eyes that got us safely back to Earth, wasn't it?
Safely? Safely? Safely 1,000 miles off course.
I've told you before, Jack. The sun was in my eyes.
Well, my advice would be stop looking at the sun and start looking where you're going.
If my driving is such a problem, I'm sure you'll be happiest walking to the next hole.
Lukey? Lukey? Don't tell me.
The sun was in my eyes.
Think I'll walk to the next hole.
All right.
Oh, you're back?
What about me back?
Oh, no.
Sorry, that was awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Listen, we need to get back to finding out about the sun.
Yeah, there is one thing bothering me.
That rash isn't back again, is it?
No, I cleared that up ages ago.
Well, what is it then?
The sun's really hot, right?
Correct.
And it's because of its heat and light that all life continues.
I believe that to be the case, son. I believe that to be the case.
So why is there only life on Earth and nowhere else?
Ah, well, I think I can answer that. But to do so, I need you to cast your mind back to when you were a nipper and all the fairy stories your mum used to tell you.
Oh, the amazing adventures of Mr. Ploppy and his friend, Ken the Wizard.
No, not those weird ones. I'm talking about normal fairy stories like Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
You didn't say any of the scary ones.
To the Space Labs!
Yeah!
Our planet is positioned in the perfect berth, which is why we've only ever found life on Earth. Not too close to the sun, but also not too far, in a spot the other planets can only admire.
So what's all this got to do with Goldilocks, then?
Ah, well, just like Little Lady Locks, we're going to have a bit of brekkie. So we can find out how the Goldilocks effect makes Earth just right for life, beginning with morning mealtime Venus style.
For a start, Venus has long blistering days. Because it's too close to the sun's steady blaze, its surface gets scorched like butter gets melted. The craft that could survive there has yet to be invented.
Porridge, my favourite, as long as it's not overdone.
What, like this?
That porridge is way too hot. The toast is disgusting, and as for that butter, that's lethal.
Maybe, fella, but don't go thinking that breakfast on Mars is going to be any better.
It's not just the heat you need to keep an eye on. Mars, the fourth planet's also hard to survive on. On its frozen surface, no life could thrive. The sun's rays are too weak by the time they arrive.
Frozen toast, frozen butter, uncooked porridge with frozen milk? I'm not sure about this, chef.
I've got to say, that's even worse. And as for that butter, I almost chipped me tooth.
Oh, well, never fear, Dandylocks. We've saved the best till last.
But there is one planet that avoids the extremes of Mars and Venus with their ice and heat. Our planet's ideal, lots of water, climate nice, too warm to freeze, not so hot to ignite. Like Goldilocks porridge, the Earth is just right.
That is delicious.
Just right, my friend.
That's why it's the one place we know that life's grown, as long as we don't ruin it by damaging the ozone. This amazing place we're blessed to call home.
Imagine that one day in the not-too-distant future, as the space cadets travel towards the sun, they set the controls for its surface.
Bing bong. If you take a look towards your left, you will see the fiery and lethal surface of the sun. As cabin temperatures start to rise a smidgen, you might want to loosen your clothing a bit.
Is it me, or is it getting hotter in here?
And while it's probably hard to believe when it's getting so muggy where you are, back home there are times when the sun disappears from the sky altogether, plunging the Earth into complete darkness.
Times when the sun disappears from the sky altogether, plunging the Earth into complete darkness.
I'm sure that's not right.
We're all gonna die!
Professor Brian, a bit of reassurance on this would be appreciated.
I've come to Varanasi, known as India's Sun City, to witness one of the most amazing things that happens to our sun. Because the sun is so important to life on Earth, people all over the world have worshipped it as a god since the beginning of man. This city alone once had 14 temples to the sun, and I'm here on a very special day.
Everyone's getting incredibly excited here because in just a few minutes, the sun is going to vanish from the sky.
What? Disappear from the sky? Says who, Professor Punk?
Let me explain. It's 27 minutes past 5 in the morning. The sun's rays have only just risen above the horizon. But any moment now, they're going to start being blocked out again by the moon in a total solar eclipse.
The edge of the moon is, at this point, just beginning to touch the disk of the sun. Oh, and you can see the moon. Can you see the moon on the top? Absolutely fantastic.
Hey! What's all this about you blocking me out, amigo?
Here, don't blame me. I'll just spin round you. It's not my fault if something interesting like this happens, is it?
What? Don't you know it's me all the folks want to see and not you and your moon face?
Oh, no. There's no need for that. I don't call you stupid son, do I? No, I don't do that.
Hey, I'll be back. Hey!
At 6:24 a.m, it happens. The moon blocks out the sun entirely.
This honestly is the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Oh, there.
Look at me. I'm in front of him.
The Earth is the only place where total eclipses of the sun, lasting minutes on end like this one, take place. And that's all because of an amazing fluke.
The sun is 400 times further away from the Earth than the moon is. But by coincidence, the sun is also 400 times bigger. So when the moon moves in front of the face of the sun, it can completely obscure it.
A little over 3 minutes later, normal service is resumed. The sun is back.
Look at that! It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen, actually. Amazing when the sun re-emerged from behind the moon. Everybody just, like that, goes up to...
Whoa, that is ridiculous. Makes you realise you don't appreciate things until they're gone.
Do you know what, Dan? That's actually the cleverest thing that you've ever said.
Oh, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I am right. You don't appreciate things until they're gone.
But did you realise that the journey that heat and light make to the Earth from the sun is even more mind-blowing?
Hey, I bet that's something you don't appreciate until it's gone.
So, we need to find out more about that journey.
Journeys? I suppose you don't appreciate them until they're gone.
All right, Dad, enough!
Sorry.
We're going to find out more about how heat and light get to Earth from the sun, which is why we're here with these guys.
This is the American Football Journey of the Photons from the Sun Challenge. Needed are 1 field, 1 ball, 1 slip and slide, 2 space cadets, and a team of fearsome American footballers.
OK, Dan, here's the play. We need to get the ball from here, which represents the centre of the sun, to that line way over there, which represents the Earth, OK?
Not a problem. Let's get started.
They really don't like him, do they?
While Dan makes friends with his new fan club, let me explain what's going on. Particles of the sun's light are called photons and are represented by the ball in this challenge. The photon's journey to Earth is an epic one. Getting from the centre of the sun to its surface is the hard bit. It can take 1 million years because there are so many other densely packed particles getting in the way, in the same way that these guys are making it difficult for us.
Steve!
Yeah,
Steve, over here!
Look, go
over
here! Come
Steve,
on!
Steve, what are you doing? Give me the ball! Steve! Steve!
Keep it clean, boys.
This is taking forever, and it's hurting a lot.
Come on, get back out there.
I don't want to.
Go on.
I'm scared.
it's like for those photons of sunlight then. They're bashing about for 1 million years before they get to the sun's surface.
Get off!
And then, eventually, up to 1 million years after setting off from the centre of the sun, the photons of sunlight break through to its surface. It's quite an achievement. Just like us getting past those blokes in stupid shoulder pads and tights.
Don't let them hear you say that.
It's all right. They can't hear anything over the sound of their own grunting. Space handshake?
Aisha Coco.
Hey, ho!
Venus, Saturn, Uranus, dangerous!
Hey! Come on! Now for the turbo speed part of the journey. After 1 million years getting to the sun's surface, it takes the photons just 8 minutes to travel the 150 million kilometres to Earth. And to represent that speedy bit, we're going to be a slipping and a sliding into the end zone.
Let's do it!
There we go. Doesn't that feel good?
Great. Although I don't think my hair will ever recover.
Be that as it may, Dan, I have 2 pieces of news that I think might lighten your mood.
Go on.
Bring it in, boys! Number 1, it's time for a piece of rap stroke science fusion courtesy of MC Orbit.
Ah, good start. What's the second bit of news?
Oh, yay! They've arrived. Whilst we're getting down to the happening sounds of rap science fusion, we can multitask by cooking our tea using solar power and the Sauce-O-Matic.
This is the best day of my life.
Welcome to the solar system circus, where everything happens with the sun at the focus. And even though we're the further out from the furnace, some bright sunlight scorches our surface. Earth gets energy as heat and light that's used by the plants and the rest of life. And water is liquid, not steam or ice, at 93 million miles just right. All over the world we have worshipped the sun and looked at the place where it's all begun. A total eclipse still amazes and stuns. If you're caught in the shadow, you're the lucky ones. The very large telescope helps us to peer at distant stars that we can compare. But our sun could fit 1 million Earths in its sphere while living for 5 more billion years. Calling all space hoppers, now we're done. Cruising destinations around the sun. The tour is over, now it's time to run, because it's back to Earth in 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you know, like, what's hot? What? What's hot?
Hey, yeah! Win! She's a win! Hey, yeah! Whoa! Steady on there, Justin Bieber. In your imagination!
Sorry, mate. I'm so sorry.
Enjoy you eat custard! A brand new series.
Yay!
I'm sorry I've got no head. Fridays at 5 on the CBBC channel.
That is not going to wash out.